Hi, everyone. Dave Colasari here, Homesight Home Inspection Service. I think we're going to start calling this Homesight Insight. How's that? Sounds good, huh? I'm here with Rob Erdmann, right? I said that correct?
Yes, correct.
And we were just talking. I'm very excited to have him because our pre-interview seemed to just like flow like crazy. So I'm like, we got to stop pre-interview and we need to just start this interview because you're very easy to talk to, and I can just feel your passion when you talk to me. You have a very good, I guess, connection with real estate, and it just comes off the tongue. Would you agree?
Yeah, we're doing this for, as many years as I have now. There's a lot of things that I enjoy about real estate. It's getting the houses ready for sale. Like, that's the most exciting part for me. And, showing some of the sellers, when they have friends over, helping them, pack up the kitchen. And then there I am, maybe shampooing the carpets, or we're having the outside power washed. And they're like, oh, who's this guy?
You're actually working on it?
Yeah, we do a lot of work to help the house sell. To help them, they got 10,000 other things to do. So their friends will say, wow, I didn't know real estate agents did this. So that is one thing I enjoy is, being there, getting dirty, getting the house ready, helping them out.
That I don't hear from. I don't hear that from many agents. I hear that, they may have a crew or something that helps maybe distressed houses or something, but you're actually in there in the tunnels, on the field, working hard to get that house sold.
Yeah, I got a few friends that'll help out too, but in the fall there's a lot of leaves on the ground. So we'll go there and we'll mulch all the leaves up. So, you don't want someone to buy a house thinking there's, a ton of yard work to do in the future. So that's what we did this fall in Vernon. We were out there, before before the open house, clipping up all the leaves because he had like 5,000 trees on the property.
That's amazing. That's awesome. And you deal with a lake country, right? That's your specialty?
Yeah, I live in Pewaukee now, but I grew up in Franklin and Oak Creek, so we go where business takes us. So I'll have hot streaks where this summer I was busy in Franklin and Muskego, and you just never know. Wherever business takes you, list a house wherever, or if you're looking to buy a house, try to keep it within 30 miles, but we can list a house anywhere. I sold a property up in northern Wisconsin this year in Mercer, so it doesn't matter. You can list a house anywhere or a property.
Sure, and it just you go where the business takes you, and well, that's like most real estate agents. But I find it fascinating of you being so hands-on, and I guess that goes along with what you say as your world-class service, right?
Correct, and being recognized as having a 5-star award, consecutive years, not given out to very many agents, service, being a nurse for 15 years.
That's another thing I heard.
Yeah,
I don't mean to interrupt you, but we'll talk about that.
I like helping out my clients, my patients, back in the days, and it just seemed so natural for me. Why wouldn't you, if you're making this nice commission, why wouldn't you want to help them out? Go up on the roof, clean out the rain gutters. They've never been on their roof. I was up and doing rain gutters when it was like 20 degrees out in November this year. By doing that, we found some issues with the roof that we had fixed before the house was listed, which again saved the seller a ton of money. And,
Sure.
And I power washed personally, the front walkway when it was 35 degrees out, and I'm sure the neighbors probably thought, what's going on next door, that the power washer's running when it's this cold out. But whatever it takes, it's a vacant house. In this case, it was vacant, and he was having to drive down from Random Lake to Franklin, so I knew it was a lot of work for them to be doing these things. And if it takes an hour to fix something, why wouldn't you want to just take care of it yourself?
Right. And we were talking organically before we actually started recording about for sale by owners on the process of people putting their house up for sale, and then they don't have any luck, and then you step in and actually get them more money for the house than what they could have done for themselves. So why wouldn't they work with an agent to begin with, right?
Correct. And in this market, yes, you're going to sell your property, but I've learned over the last 18 months that you're going to sell your house for more money if you list it because of the added exposure. That without listing it, you're showing maybe 20% of the potential buyers. There's a lot of agents that will know you're for sale but are afraid to show your property because they're afraid they're not going to get paid. And there's a lot of agents that aren't looking on all these different websites of for sale by owner websites that will bring them to you. And so they're really only exposing their house to 20% of the buyers, which now does not get you that frenzy, that bidding war. And now that your house is sitting 2-3 weeks, sometimes 2 or 3 months, it's showing up as stale, like something's wrong with this house.
Right, right. You don't
Why
want
is this
that.
house still
Yeah.
sitting here? Or, you're also not doing open houses, and that's not bringing in buyers. So I've shown time after time after time that, yes, it doesn't take 6% to sell a house, but we can do it for less, but we could still net you more money than if you tried selling it on your own.
That was the point I was trying to get out again. So the people that had the for sale by owners think they can do it themselves, save money. Think again. You need to spend money to actually make money, right? So somebody who's a little bit more into the real estate market can help these people bank more money that they thought was never there.
It's that, and it's also, I have example after example, but another one we wrote on a for sale by owner. I was working with the buyer. The next day, he didn't get back to me on the offer. Then I checked that website, and he upped the price for $15,000.
What?
We offered full price. He started now realizing, okay, well, I need to buy a house. Let me see what's out there. He didn't realize that he was undervaluing his property, so he added $15,000 to the listing, and finally got back to us 2 days later, and we finally did negotiate a price. But you don't have the knowledge of really what your house
Right.
is worth. You're never going to have a bidding war when you're for sale by owner. You're never going to get someone to waive a home inspection, or you're not going to get someone to pay half the basement repairs that I just had in Franklin, with a client.
Right, right. Yeah, you were mentioning it. Franklin House had some basement issues. You were the listing agent, right?
Correct.
And without you, they actually had some of these basement repairs. The costs were shared
So
because of you, right?
correct. So before the house was put on the market, we got the foundation expert out there. Estimate was $7,900. Obviously, the buyers want to know when they write an offer, when is this going to get fixed? And I just said, with a good offer, he's willing to fix it, but we're also looking to negotiate some of these. It's a vacant house. It was an estate situation. And so we got 2 offers. We countered them both that they would pay half of the basement repairs, and they both agreed. Now we had 2 offers to choose from, both wanting to
Wow.
help pay, $3,950 in basement repairs.
Oh, the seller's just loving you, right?
Plus, we added the home inspection, pre-listing home inspection, and got up on the roof and cleaned out the rain gutters, which found the issues with the roof. So we had the roof repaired instead of replaced after, a real home inspection would have come in, probably would have red flagged it. He would have been paying $7-8 grand for a new roof. He didn't have to pay anything but the $750 he paid the handyman to fix the roof issues.
Wow.
And we trimmed back some of the trees. We did some painting on the outside, did some power washing, like I said. They focused on the inside of the house. We kind of focused on the outside of the house. And 2
That's
weeks
great.
later,
That's great.
we got $250, plus they paid half the basement repairs.
Those are some great examples. And tell me about because getting offers accepted is tough now, particularly now because the market's so hot, inventory's so low. What are you recommending to your clients? Because you mentioned this earlier to me, and I want them to hear it. To not scare, to be a competitive bid with a home inspection, because there are home inspections that are being waived, and I would agree we both don't recommend that. But what's your niche on how to
Correct.
make that work?
So knowing that I would still fully recommend a home inspection, even if the house is only 5 years old, you have 4 other offers that you're trying to compete against. 3 probably say we waive the home inspection completely. Well, if you still want that home inspection, we're going to write it in the offer, but we're also going to add language to say, us, the buyer, is going to contribute, pick an amount, $2,000 towards any needed repairs in the defects, because there's always repairs and then there's defects. So you got to get
Right.
the language correct. But we're going to cover the first $2,000. So that shows that we're not going to try to nickel and dime you, that our offer with a home inspection is just as strong as one that says we're waiving the home inspection altogether.
Right. Makes it more attractive, and everybody's happy. So I heard that niche, and I appreciate that one. Let's go back, if you don't mind. How long were you a nurse?
I graduated in 2000 and did full-time nursing until about 2015.
And did you enjoy that?
I did, until I had 4 foot surgeries and some back
Oh.
issues and neck issues, and I knew I couldn't do it another 15 years. So I started looking for a profession that I would enjoy.
Okay.
And, that I liked. And so I started doing real estate because I did 3 12-hour shifts as a nurse. So I had some free time. And then talking real estate with a lot of coworkers, nurses, physical therapists, physicians that were buying houses. So it was a good place to interact and do both careers at the same time for the first year. And then I branched off, and now I just do full-time real estate.
Congratulations. That's a good step. A lot of times people have a hard time converting from that full-time career to another full-time career without, cutting one loose first. I remember when I used to teach home inspection, and a lot of people have like part-time jobs or they have a full-time job, and they just can't make that jump into home inspection without, full-time, that is. And I always tell them that, well, if you want to succeed, cut out the safety net. Just stop doing that other job and just do home inspection. Put every little bit of your heart and soul into home inspection, and guess what? You will succeed because there's no other option. And that's what I see with you, because we've had a few people in here now, and they're all great people. You look, you're snazzy looking. You look very professional, and you seem to know real estate very, very well. And I congratulate you on that.
And some of that, working 2 jobs and in this competitive market for buyers, something hits the market at noon, they want to see it at 6.
You have to.
If you're working your full-time job, you'll say, oh, we could see it tomorrow. Well, tomorrow they already have accepted an offer. So to be for your client 100% of the time, you can't have a secondary job, because if you're working with a buyer, you have to drop everything and look at these properties that same day.
Right. Right. I would agree.
I've also had accepted offers on houses before they were open to showings. They're in this.
How do you know they're? Oh, I know, they send like little office memos around or something like that, and this house is going to be on the market soon, and you can jump the gun, right?
Wish it was that easy, but there's in MLS they have a delayed niche.
Okay.
So for up to 3 weeks, someone could, which I usually do, put my listing in. You still might be doing some painting, still some decluttering. So the house isn't ready to have people in it, but you're letting all the real estate agents know that this property is coming up for sale. So there's usually a few photos where you can still drive by the house. They can still check it out from the outside. And in this case, we knew it was already at the high end of their price point, that they could not get into a bidding war in Muskego. So I said, let's go in with a full offer before you walk into it. There's no risk, because you still get the right to go in it once the showings start, and 8 hours later you can send them a notice saying that you've rejected, you don't like the house for this reason or that, and now they're free to use other buyers. And it's no risk to the seller, because you're still going to have all those showings that first day, so they're not eliminating any potential buyers. So we got a counter offer. He went $5,000 over asking price. We accepted it. So they had 16 showings that first day it went active. There's no way we would have won a house battle, knowing it was at the high end of their price point.
Right.
We went $5,000 over asking and got an offer, accepted without going in it. So that's another
awesome.
Niche to work with these buyers in this crazy market, is to show them delayed listings. Don't be afraid to write an offer without going into the house.
Right.
Because
what do you get any resistance on wanting to put a full offer in by the buyers because they don't know the market?
Yeah, it is not an issue. 2 or 3 years ago, nobody wanted to overbid. It just was not ever going to happen. And now it's so common that if
and
you
they know that.
Yes.
If you want the house, you better do this, even though they may be a little reluctant.
Or they'll get into that groove after we've placed 2 or 3 offers and taken second and third place, even with all the little tricks that I do.
Yeah.
And it doesn't always mean the top dollar takes the
Right,
house. So I won a bidding war in New Berlin this fall. There was 9 other offers, and no home inspection. Again, unfortunately, at that time we had to waive it, but they had just remodeled the whole house and pulled permits, and they knew, even saying that they would fix the defects, they couldn't afford to go up against 8 other offers and have a home inspection. It was just going to be one
pick of which one's the best, right?
Yes, and it's not easy as an agent to have more than 2 or 3 offers. It gets confusing. You got so many that are very similar. It's like, all right, which one do I take? Now it's not fun to have that many offers to choose from. 2 or 3 is plenty.
You get 10, 15, it's like, oh my God.
It is just, yes. It's again, so it's not always about it's being flexible on the closing date. It's being flexible on, are you going to beat them over the home inspection? Are you willing to pay over appraised value is another new thing now. So I sold a house in Franklin this fall, and only one offer came in, and I said, well, it's too good. I don't think it's going to appraise. None of my comps show it's going to be worth 330. Let's counter him and say he's got to pay 7,500 over the appraised value and see if he's willing to. Of course, he needs to have the funds to do it, but he agreed to pay 7,500 over the appraised value, and sure enough, it appraised at 320. It autoly, defected to this now 327.5.
Very creative.
So a year earlier, he listed the house with a different agent for $300,000 and got 0 offers. He forgot I was in real estate. I recommended a few simple changes to some of the light fixtures, and he did a little work in his kitchen. We listed it for $315 and got that crazy offer, and he was blown away because he was just going to sell it to a family member for $285, thinking after commission, $285 because I couldn't get $300, and we got $327,500 this fall.
Wow, that's interesting. You see, you gotta, an experienced agent has to have those little tricks in the back of their mind to make things like that work. So not all agents are created equal. There's without a doubt. What did you say? 20% of the agents do 80% of the work, right?
Absolutely.
So it's very important picking the right person on your side.
And that's what I learned last year in this class that I took, and which blew me away because, again, you think, oh, you'll sell, you'll make more money than I could if I listed it on my own. Well, now that I got 5 examples, direct examples, and then what really blew me away is when I listed this for sale by owner house in Vernon. It was for sale for 4 months. He had an online website. He had signs in the neighborhood with arrows and a sign in his yard. And we listed the house. 2 out of the first 3 showings were for real estate agents looking for houses that they were going to move into. And so I was dumbfounded that even a real estate agent didn't know that this house was for sale for the past 4 months, and they could have got the house for $25,000 less than what we sold it for, because he was just getting desperate at that point and just was hoping for any offer.
Right. Interesting. Well, Rob, you show that you're a true professional. I appreciated talking with you today and sharing some of your, I don't know if you call secrets, but little tools that you use. Most experienced agents have that type of, toolbox, so to speak. But I appreciate your time, and I wish you the best of luck in this upcoming year because it's going to be challenging.
Yeah, it's all about the customer service for me and doing whatever I can for my sellers and my buyers. But with the sellers, there's so much money I can save them by being in this business and helping them get the house ready. I have an enclosed trailer, that they can borrow, and it's not about the sale ends and then you never hear from Rob again. I have clients that call me and say, hey, can I borrow your trailer? I just bought a couch and I, need to get it to my house, or I got to take my lawnmower in. So I am still here after the deal's over. It's not like Rob's gone forever. I talked to 2 clients this weekend that I, sold properties to, and, just touched base with them, or they'll wish me a Merry Christmas, that there's still a relationship.
So not only a real estate agent, but a friend even after the transaction, right?
Correct, absolutely.
Real estate for life, right?
There you go.
There you go. Thanks. I appreciate your time.
Yeah, thanks, Dave.
Thank you.